There is something so special about this summer solstice energy. And in this video, I'm going to share with you how you can really leverage this time of year and the energy that we have here to boost everything that you're doing, everything that you're creating, and really leverage this amazing time of year. So happy summer solstice, everyone. If you're watching this around the summer solstice, I know different cultures have their own unique celebrations around this time of year. Some on June the 21st, which I think is actually the longest day of the year. Here in Spain, and in the part of Spain that I live in, there is a huge celebration on June the 23rd called the San Juan Festival. But even though it's technically celebrating a saint, if you go back hundreds of years, it will be rooted in pagan traditions. Summer solstice traditions around the world often date back millennia. And it's because our ancestors knew how powerful this time of year was, wanted the opportunity to celebrate, this unique and special day where there is more sunlight, there is more daylight than any other day in the year. Our ancestors used to have more of a connection to and worship the sun, because obviously we wouldn't be here without it. Let's just say that. We depend on it, but perhaps we just see it as like this orb in the sky and daylight and warm, but people used to worship the sun. People used to pray to the sun because it would determine whether they would get to eat that year and so many other things. Anyway, I digress, but the point is that I always love celebrating the solstice and making a ceremony of the summer solstice, because it feels to me, I get to connect not only to my ancestors, but back to what is true, what is real, what is nature. The summer solstice is a time of year where energy is flowing, everything is thriving. We've had spring. Spring is the opportunity of things being born, winter ending, and, things that have been dormant coming to life. After the summer, we'll have the autumn, where it's all about harvesting, reaping the harvests, right? And so we're in between those two times of year right now. We're in between the spring, where things are being born, new birth, and we haven't quite reached the point of the year yet where it's all about things harvesting and coming to fruition. And so we're in this beautiful sweet spot at the moment where basically just the energy is ripe for creation, for growth, for progress. And so obviously I'm using kind of the metaphors of like plants and crops, but we are all nature, we're all natural beings, right? So you can apply this to anything in your life, anything that you're working on, anything where you want to see growth and expansion and change. Just allow yourself to connect to what is real, what is nature around you, and observe how every plant has life force energy pumping through it at a rate that is more potent than any other time of year. Imagine how much plants benefit from those extra hours of daylight, from that warmer temperature, and really just take some time to feel that, to connect to the nature around you and appreciate the conditions that they are thriving in right now. And then feel that energy over your own life, feel that energy over your own goals, over your projects, over the things that you're working on, over your health, over every cell in your body. Feel that potency, that thriving energy soaking into you, filling your body with light and with life force energy. That can be a practice that you can use throughout the days before and after the solstice, just around this time of year in general. And I know it can kind of sound funny, but even if you do that before you send an email, you do that before you post something on social media, you do that before you go to that interview or on that date or anything like that, just embody the energy of thriving. Embody the energy of being so alive and so well. And let that energy come to you and through you. You could technically embody that energy even in the darkest months of winter, but it's even easier to do it right now. By the way, I'm talking as if assuming that you're living in the Northern Hemisphere here. So apologies to my Australasians and so forth, and South Americans and, people who are living below the hemisphere and therefore it's winter solstice for you. Happy winter solstice. So pardon me for just speaking assumptively and talking to those who are experiencing summer solstice right now. So you can technically embody this energy anywhere you are on the planet, but in particular, if you're currently sat on a part of planet Earth where in terms of the Earth's positioning and the sun, you are in a location of high energy, growth, thriving, blossoming energy. Connect to that. I think so often in our modern world, we are disconnected from the very nature around us. The more that we can connect to that nature, the more that we can ride the beautiful wave of energy that it is experiencing. Because if not, what are we experiencing? We're soaking in the news, we're soaking in the politics, we're overthinking things, we're scrolling through thousands of people's energy and opinions and stuff like that. And I don't know about you, but that doesn't always leave me feeling great. I don't like to do that. How many of you don't watch the news like me? You know, I'm really sorry that those things might be going on in the world right now, but I am going to protect my energy because I am aware that my positive energy has and can have a powerful positive effect on the world around me. You know, if you want to do something to make the world around you greater, take greater care of your energy and radiate it out to the world. There have been studies on monks who do transcendental meditation together. There have been gatherings where 100 monks, 1,000 monks have sat together and meditated together. And the crime rate of the city they were meditating in drastically went down when they were doing that. And that's happened multiple times. There have been multiple studies that show this. So that's just one example of, wow, what if we also use our amazing energy and creative abilities, not only to create the goals that we want to create in our lives, but also to think about what a difference we can make to the world around us when we take care of our energy and radiate love and light and peace. Low vibrational energy, I feel like, is very kind of like gnarly and static and dark and messy and chaotic. High vibrational energy is a lot more peaceful. There's a lot more space. There's a lot more stillness. So if you can create more of that energy in your life and radiate it out, if, you know, every single person who watches this video does it and shares it with other people who they, know will get it, we can seriously make a difference. Anyway, I'll leave you with one last thing for this summer solstice time, and that is I wanted to put something together for you to help you to leverage this summer solstice energy. Basically, what I've done is I've handpicked some of my most powerful past workshops, interactive programs, courses, things like that are well over about $2,000 if you put them all together. And I've bundled them all together into an extremely special offer summer solstice bundle. So the link to get that is in the description below. Basically, it's just a rare opportunity where you can get loads of stuff for a fraction of the price. So if you want to leverage that and dive into a bundle like that during this summer solstice energy to just really help you, like I said, to maximize this time of year, this energy that is around at this time of year, help you to let go of limiting beliefs, help you to dial in clarity on what you want, help you to go through a scripting ceremony with me. So many different things are within this bundle. Click on the link below and have a look, check it out. Anyway, I'm wishing you the happiest summer solstice. Celebrate in any way that you feel called to, whether that's through music, through dancing, through lighting candles, through saying prayers, through gathering together with friends, through being outside in nature, through experiencing a sunset. Whatever feels great for you, connect to what you know in your heart is a special way to celebrate this time of year. Enjoy your summer solstice, and I'll see you next time.